For a long time, the internet has been a safe haven for those who feel that they don't fit in with the status quo. An orphanage for the eccentric, weirdos, and deviants. The queen of these oddball personalities, none other than Emilia Fart. For those of you who don't know, she's been called an icon, a freak, a self-proclaimed oddity that can and will get down and boogie on any street corner.
Digging in for the true tea though. It's piping hot, don't burn yourself!
She's great. For the past 8 years, Emilia has put herself in the online hot seat, revealing a glimpse into her alternative lifestyle.
Legally changed my name to Fart for a reason, because it's the coolest word in the English language.
Emilia's videos are a vocalized inner monologue revolving around 3 main themes: food, fear, and feelings.
I try to be really honest on my channel, to an extreme level. I know that I've hurt people.
But as we'll learn, her life is far from a fairy tale. A result of her out there attitude, she has seen every side that this online spotlight has to offer. Some of it not so bright.
Yes, I am awful and terrible and self-involved and so self-absorbed.
What's really behind this bizarre behavior? With fame can come flames. Being so open with your life online, it's really only a matter of time before eventually your character is questioned, your authenticity tested.
I hide my double chin because I'm insecure about it, and I wear a scarf all the time. I wear giant tents to hide my body. My real name is Amelia Sarah Sheldon, and I am ready. There are a lot of reasons why I'm going away for a while.
Was her painful past culminating in her breakdown? For the last 4 months, Emilia, who has always had something to say, silenced. Taking time to, quote, escape into her imagination. Even with a recent comeback, many questions remain. What's it really like inside the mind of somebody like Emilia Fart? Well, today we're gonna ask her exactly what's going on.
I'm lactose intolerant and I can't stop eating cheese and I want to warn people. Oprah poos every day.
I'm gonna make myself feel better. The only way I know how.
Vlogging whatever really was on her mind. Throughout Emilia's career, there's been a constant question of her authenticity. In a medium where even the realest reality is heavily curated, these qualities, along with her unapologetically anti-fashion aesthetic, lead many viewers to assume she's simply playing a character.
Macaroni and cheese! I love macaroni and cheese though!
But Emilia Fart's videos are not the zany adventures of a fictional persona. Rather, they are the candid, quirky realities of a girl from Oakville, Ontario. But you know, there was a time that Emilia was quite the opposite of the unconventional personality that we see today. In fact, once she wasn't much different than you or me. And she didn't like it. Who is Emilia Fart prior to your departure?
I haven't always looked like this, but this has always been inside me.
I would say someone a bit lost and a bit disconnected to what I really wanted to do and what I feel my real purpose is.
Purpose, something she had been chasing for as long as she could remember. Now, going into this, expecting an off-the-walls character, throughout the interview, I was stunned to learn how just the opposite Emilia could be. The reason would become clear later on. Not new to hardship, throughout her life, Emilia lived in constant search for self-acceptance. Growing up, her life was a mix of emotions. Spending most of her early years feeling outcasted, this is where her search for attention began. Emilia didn't want to fit in, but the social norms made her feel like she needed to. A pressure that I think many of us can relate to. Were those hardships that you went through as a kid, as a teen, as a young adult, kind of shape your character into who you became in your videos?
Ooh, I can feel my esophagus. Oh my god, it feels right.
Yeah, totally. I think that whoever you are now, specifically, especially what you're chasing. So I think chasing attention, chasing being heard about things that I felt shame about are definitely things that, come from my past.
Adversity defined her early life. From a parent's divorce to her privacy being severely violated by another adult, to the passing of her father. Moments of loving and losing. These years leaving a lasting mark on who she would later become. What moments do you attribute in your life to you finding what you considered your real self?
Okay, my dad dying was like the biggest thing in my life that made me recalculate everything. Grieving him is a big thing of why I started YouTube.
Like many a young person growing up in the internet age, it became a place of escape. Finding solace in other out there personalities such as Trisha, Paytas, Shane Dawson, and Drew Monson. She was inspired, and that's when something clicked. Looking for validation, that's when, possibly in her darkest hour, she found a light in video creation.
It's here for me to shine.
And from then on out, the rest was history. Now look, plenty of other YouTubers have tried to open up to their subscribers, but none are ever as refreshingly honest as Emilia. The reason people connect to her, she knows her past is far from glamorous, but she doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I mean anything.
I would buy light up eyeball bouncy balls, duct tape them to a piece of string and wear them around my neck every day.
In your videos, you come off really confident. Is that real or is it more of a projection?
I think I'm a mix of insecure and confident combined. People close to me, I think they would probably say that I'm confident, but I crave a lot of validation, and that stems from insecurity. It's a grab bag.
From getting a bit tipsy to Kenny vs. Spenny, to confessions on the kitchen floor, YouTube gave this quirky queen a place to call home. And more importantly, a purpose.
It means the potential fulfilling my truest dreams since I was conscious.
For the past few years, her work culminating into many an adventure.
Everything in my life has been leading to this moment. Nothing has ever felt more right in my life. Do you feel it, Jonas? The air is electric.
It was her videos that would draw a crowd, but it was her persona that made us wonder, like, is this real? Remember how I said she wanted attention? Well, she was getting it. In her words, it was cool, but the real cool thing was to realize that your limitations only go as far as your mind will let them go. As great as some of the attention was, it wasn't always positive. How do you deal with hate comments?
In the early days, hate comments would spark other videos. Being liked is part of the job, but I think it's easy to get a little too carried away with that.
Always ignore. When in doubt, completely ignore.
Now, I'm trying to be very conscious of letting go how the work or the art is interpreted.
Interviewing Emilia was interesting. For someone so outgoing, in reality, she was not much different from you or me. If you dig deep enough into her videos, no matter how bombastic and wild, they're really telling a story anyone can relate to. Detailing the struggles of growing up, finding out who you are, some moments far darker than others.
That, yeah, I have faults, and yeah, I make mistakes, and yeah, there's things that I don't think are great about me.
But on the flip side, YouTube taking her to places she could only have dreamed of. I'm talking, of course, of Los Angeles, California. A place she could meet some of her heroes. It was also a place that would begin to take a toll on her mindset. When you visited LA a few times, you began to feel different. What exactly changed for you?
People were very kind. It was just the feeling that I got of seeing more directly the chase for fame.
Like, what are numbers? What is relevance? Like, what are they?
Relevance, fame, attention. Things Emilia had chased her entire YouTube career. Now seeing up close and personal how the game really worked. It raises the question, does prominence bring happiness? On camera, she was spilling her feelings, but not all of them. As we turn the corner into 2020, something did begin to change. Keeping up to the antics we all got to know and love, suddenly hints began to drop of what was really going on in her mind.
It is a game. But what happens when you're playing a game and you reach your version of the end of the Candyland map?
Was she beginning to question this very online world that she had so openly been embraced in? This whirlwind ride suddenly coming to a screeching halt.
We are capable of more than we think we are right now. Thank you, I love you.
What was going on? 118 days later, we got an answer. So in your return video, you said you needed a need to change. Specifically, what needed to change? How did you find that within yourself?
Inwardly, I needed to change. I needed to reroute. Why am I doing this? Because creating right before I stopped didn't feel right at all. And that's the first time that's really happened. Everything that it started happening politically, Corona, racism, made me confront things that I've done in the past, things that I've looked up to, things that I've coveted, and really examine those in a lot more direct and like harsh way.
Who is Emilia Fart today?
A creative person trying to find meaning. I want to try to do something meaningful.
Trying to do something meaningful. So the question is, how real is Emilia? Well, I think she's more real than you might think. In many ways, she is just a personification of you or me. Someone who at times is a hyperbolic ball of energy, and others more solemn and laid back. Like other out there personalities such as Dax Flame, her character is real, but it's clear from this interview that while she may not be as verbose as she lets on in her videos, she says what she means and she means what she says. Always growing, always learning, never giving up on new self-discovery. This is the real Emilia Fart.
The most powerful truth is that we are all the same. And I think the most powerful thing you can do is try to shatter that illusion as much as possible.
Remember, I'm Ryan, and I'll see you in the next video.